Hi, it's Danielle from VA Lifestyle Design. I wanted to share this quick story with you, an experience that I had last night. It's actually the first time that I have stayed in a Airbnb apartment where I was renting one room of someone else's home. So I'm absolutely in love with Airbnb. Think it's just an amazing tool that we've all got to kind of connect with each other. And normally, when we're booking there, we would be booking a full house or a full apartment for all five of us to stay as a family. But I'd caught the train down last night to stay here in the city, work in Brisbane Square Library, the big city library today, which is one of my bucket list items. And it was a really funny thing, and I'll share with you why, the difference between a full Airbnb apartment and renting a room in someone else's home. And also, how you can kind of use this to change up your environment, get that inspiration, get that productivity flowing as a virtual assistant, whether you're a single, couple, family, no matter what it is. So what had happened is, I caught the train down and I arrived here. I was greeted by the homeowner at the bottom of this building in the center of the city. And it's an amazing home. It's gorgeous, beautiful. It's on the 62nd floor of one of the high residential, tall buildings in the city. Absolutely beautifully furnished, amazing feeling. Looking out at the night sky, probably the highest I've ever been here in my home city in Brisbane. Not sure why, but there's just, Brisbane's a fairly small city. There's not that many buildings that go up past, 62nd floor or what have you. Anyway, so what happened is I had this beautiful experience being welcomed into someone else's home. They knew that I was coming here to work. They showed me to my room and so forth. And it triggered this memory of a kind of dream, a daydream, probably a bit more than a daydream, like a goal and intention that I'd had as a young teenager. And I remembered back to this because it was something that I'd thought about actually for a couple of years. And what that was is, when I was a young teenager, 14, 15, growing up in Cronulla, which is a suburb in the city of Sydney in Australia, a beach suburb, and I would often walk along the esplanade, so the footpath going along the beautiful city, beachside, and I would look up. There was a lot of construction happening, and there was a lot of big luxury apartments being developed. I'm sure there still is, but I haven't been back there in quite some time. And so I would look at these apartments, and I would think, I think I'd probably just got my first job around about then, working in a department store on Thursday nights and weekends. So I had a bit of money coming in, and I was daydreaming about independence. Nothing changes, right? Whether it's out of home or out of, a corporate job or what have you. The sentiment has kind of always been there in the background. I'm sure many of you watching this can probably relate to that too. But anyway, so I would walk past and I would think to myself, oh, okay, so I don't have a full-time job because I'm at school, but I've got this bit of money coming in. Imagine what it would be like if I just went up to one of these beautiful apartments, knocked on the door and said to the owner, look, this is so funny even saying this publicly, but that's all right. Do you potentially have any rooms that you're not using? I would love to, potentially live here. I can give you $100 a week, if that's a win-win, but it was definitely just a little daydream in my head, because of course I knew at that age that I would probably be either met with either anger or worry. Someone might go looking for my parents and saying, why is your child out asking if they can live with us and all this type of thing. So I knew that, that idea wasn't a reality, but it was funny because I was daydreaming about that more so than, say, going out and renting my own average crappy apartment in Cronulla like most, teenagers do once they're moving out of home or what have you. I was thinking, well, isn't that a win? Aren't these people paying a lot for this apartment? They've got these beautiful furnishings, and then I could leverage that and also be a win-win, that they, be able to offset some of their costs of that. And so you probably know where I'm going to take this. When I checked in here and I came up to this beautiful apartment and this, this homely feeling and being able to use their resources and this amazing, experience of comfort, what I realized is that daydream that seemed like it was absolute insanity, craziness, how could you ever go and knock on a stranger's door, has actually come to pass because of the amazing evolution of the internet and the Airbnb founders creating this amazing service where, in this sharing economy, we're able to connect with each other and say, hey, this is a win-win for me, and here I can put it visibly on a website, on an application where you can see who I am, you can see photos, I can see who you are, etc. And we can have an exchange to see if this is a win-win for us in very seamlessly, very quickly, because of the way this system has been set up. And that was pretty cool. I was like, check that one off. I just felt like, I don't know, just really stoked about that. And just the fact that just being amazed that this thing that had once seemed so crazy was now happening day in, day out. Now, it prompted me also about something that someone had mentioned in our group for the Online Biz Skills members earlier this month. I think it was Maggie, and correct me if I'm wrong if you're watching this, but she had mentioned, someone was asking in the group, what they do to stay engaged, stay connected with people, don't get, bottled down into that work from home loneliness, which I've shared with you in the past. That doesn't tend to happen in my scenario, because we've always got, Dan and the three kids and I are always, together. So I don't necessarily have that feeling like, oh, I want to get out and connect with people. But at the same time, I do get that, burst of productivity, that inspiration by changing environments. And so anyway, Maggie had shared that what she does is she diligently commits to getting herself out of the house, as a virtual assistant this is, working with her clients, twice a week, either to a library, to a cafe, to beachside, whatever it might be. She says, okay, no matter how busy I am with my client work or whatever, that's what I'm going to commit to, that's what makes me feel good. She'd actually transitioned from working as a tour manager to being a virtual assistant. So she was in a work scenario before where she'd constantly have, tour participants around her, a big group that she was kind of leading. And so that's what she thought would be an excellent way to make that transition into working solo from home. And there was something else that she mentioned that was super cool. And she said that she takes up house sitting opportunities. Now that's, house sitting, we often think of, okay, well, that's how we could travel either around our home country, or I know a lot of people house sit overseas as well. There's big networks for it, etc. But she says that she even does that locally, even does a local house sit. She's got her own home. She'll even do like a weekend house sit. Some of the amazing benefits for her personally, she mentioned like having the ability to be, near different resources, a pool, animals, where you've got this, great benefit of being able to have that presence of beautiful pets in the home, but not have the long-term commitment that goes with it. That was something that she'd shared that was a really cool benefit for her personally. And I was just like, yeah, that's how it's done. It's not about like, okay, I'm home or I'm traveling. That you realize that there's this continuum and that you're able to, you don't need an excuse other than you can do it. You've got the flexibility. You just need the Wi-Fi. You've got Airbnb. You've got libraries. You've got house sitting networks. You've got friends and family who you can share that house sitting opportunity with. You've got co-working spaces everywhere, So there's just so much opportunity to, A, connect with people, B, get those experiences of things that are important to you. Like for me, I shared that it was this dream of mine. I have no idea why, to, share someone else's luxury, beautiful home. And what was the first one? I can't remember. But see, that productivity boost. So hope that inspires you to change up your scenario in any way you like. And I will talk to you soon.